Today's video is sponsored by SellerAmp. All right, welcome to my super messy studio. Today I'm gonna show you how to use SellerAmp on your phone to scan through products and decide if they're profitable and whether or not you should be selling them on Amazon, as well as if you're even approved to sell them or not. So behind me, I have some products. I have a bunch of Nike shoes, I have some Lego, I have some Disney products, I have some other stuff I've gotten from Marshalls, stuff I've gotten from Target. Obviously the Nikes came from the factory outlet, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scan them on the SellerAmp mobile app on my phone, and I'm gonna screen record that as well, and I'm gonna overlay that on the screen. So you're gonna get to see me actually scanning the items and be able to see what's going on the screen. And I'm just gonna talk through my thoughts and basically how I would normally make a purchasing decision while I'm using the app in the store. First thing I wanna share with you guys is the very cool feature with the SellerAmp app is shake to scan. Now you have to enable this from the camera scan screen, but once you do, it allows you to just shake your phone like that and it will immediately go into scanning mode, which is really cool. So now I can actually just scan barcodes and go through and make some purchasing decisions, and I'll walk through it with you guys. So let's scan this first pair. Scans the barcode, brought it up. Okay, so this is the Racer Blue White Anthracite, size 10. My cost price was $35. I put that in previously. The current sale price is $69.99. And the bestseller rank is 70,000. It looks like it's selling 50 pairs a month. That's all from the quick info screen. If we scroll down to the ranks and prices, we can see more of the same data metrics, but across different time periods, right? Average, 30, 90, 180, or all. I'm gonna put it back to current. If we scroll down to the alerts section, we can see everything that's really important to pay attention to. And most importantly, eligibility. I can sell this product. So you might not be able to sell Nike. In fact, chances are you probably can't. But I'm gonna actually scan some other products here in this stack that unfortunately I'm unable to sell myself, and I'll show you how you see that and what you should do and how you walk through that. But before we do that, let's just continue scanning these. So what this looks like is this is a definite send for me. So these are definitely gonna be sent off. This size 10, definitely getting sent off. I also wanna note that this profit that's being displayed of $13.43, which is a 38% ROI at selling it for 70 and buying it for 35, is a product of Amazon FBA. And you can see that down in the profit calculator window, whether you wanna choose fulfilled by merchant or fulfilled by Amazon. Now, fulfilled by merchant, I have a default of $7 in there for calculating. And this is actually probably gonna cost closer to $15 to mail out. So if I was doing fulfilled by merchant, I would wanna make sure that I had an accurate shipping cost in there. So it looks like the profit fulfilled by merchant is only $9.49. So we're definitely gonna send it FBA and do less work, which is super amazing. So the size 10 is a go. Now these are organized by size just to make it easier for me. So let's go ahead and go to the 10.5 because you do have to scan every size because they are different, right? It looks like the size 10.5 is also a go, and it's actually selling for 80 instead of 60. So the 10.5 is gonna bring a profit of $21.18, which is super amazing. Let's try the 11. The 11 is also selling for 70, so another profit of about $13. Let's go to the 12. The 12 is actually selling way better. It's selling 175 times a month instead of 50. It's also selling for 70, and the profit is about $11.45. It's a little bit less because it's a bigger shoe, it's heavier, right? So the rest of those are 12s. So this whole stack is good to go. I would be able to just start processing this and creating an Amazon FBA shipment and shipping these pairs off. Let's go through the next stack and see how everything else stacks up. This is a women's free TR8, size 7. It looks like this sells 180 times a month. My cost is 30 and the current sale price is $65.62, which is gonna be $17.11 profit. We have 2 pairs of those. Those are a go. Let's go to the 7.5 here. The 7.5 is also selling 180 times a month. Now the BSR is a little bit higher, 112,000. But if we scroll down and look at the sales rank chart, which is shown here, now SellerAmp is pulling this data from Keepa, which is extremely, extremely useful for us. We can see all of the data that we need to see to actually show that, yeah, this thing is selling really well. And in the last 3 months, that's what the chart looks like. So the pink line is the buy box. The blue line is the fulfilled by merchant price. In the middle, we have the monthly sold graph, right? That's straight from Amazon. And then in the bottom, we have the supply chart. And you can see that the supply is low on these, which is favorable. So it was higher and then it got lower. The reason that happened is because I purchased these about 3 months ago at the Nike factory outlet for a crazy good deal. And then unfortunately, I've just been so busy that I just let them sit to the side. The good side of that is that the demand is still there for this product, right? And now my competition has sold out or is actually, you know, out of stock, and so the prices are higher. Supply and demand is very important in this business. Nike from the factory outlet is actually a really low-hanging fruit, at least for those of us that are able to sell it. It's kind of a blessing in disguise sometimes if you're able to afford to let your inventory sit until your competition sells out, or sometimes you'll forget about inventory and then find it later in your warehouse and be like, oh wow, this is worth a lot of money, it's worth more now. But it's not always like that, right? Because some stuff just does not have as strong of demand. Nike has strong demand. So let's go ahead and go to the 8s. Okay, size 8, the rank is 110,000, 180 a month. Looks like the sale price is about 70, and that's $15 profit. Let's go to the 8.5s. Same. Actually selling for more, selling for 96 bucks, and that is going to be a profit of $36.18, 103% ROI. That's amazing. 180 sales a month. Now let's go to the 9s. We're getting bigger for a women's size here with 9. And so similar amount of sales per month, 180 plus sales per month, selling for a lot less, 65 bucks, which a $35 cost is still a 30% ROI or a $10 profit, which is great. I'm happy with that. All right, the next stack, this is a Nike Dunk Low Retro. And these are actually pretty cool. It's probably one of the cooler shoes that I have here to sell, especially if you're like a sneakerhead. But the problem is that hype shoes or shoes that are like popular for fashion are not necessarily the best shoes to sell on Amazon. I know it's a little hard to see, but this is kind of like that black alligator texture print and then pink, like super light purplish pink, like incredibly light purplish pink. It's looking a little white here on the screen right now. And then it does have these metal drop studs on the back. So this is pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't wear it myself, but I could totally see chicks wearing this, just dudes that were into more, you know, like pastel colors or whatever. All right, let's scan these Nike Dunks and see what they're talking about. Shake to scan this 10. You can see we paid 35, selling for 100 bucks currently, only selling 14 times a month with 336,000 BSR. And so let me scroll down and check to see what the competition's looking like. The competition's not looking too bad, but you can see there's at least 13 quantity on this listing, but only 2 sellers are selling FBA. And the one that has the buy box currently, it appears to be the merchant fulfilled offer with the buy box of 99. That's interesting. So this one doesn't sell very much as far as like, it's not like 50 pairs a month, it's less. And so for this one, I might decide to keep this one at home and sell on Amazon still, but merchant fulfilled. That way I have more control over it. And if things go sour, I don't end up having to pay long-term storage fees or removal fees or whatever. It also allows me to sell them on eBay or whatnot. So the 10 is selling for 100 bucks, which is 38 profit, 100% ROI. Let's do it a 10.5. The 10.5 is selling for 84, $24 profit, 68% ROI. The 11 is selling for 86, $33 cost, selling for 86, looking like a $27 profit. If we look at the current ranks and prices versus the 30 or the 90 or the 180, we can get a better picture of what the metrics are as far as stability. Then we can check out the chart and also the buy box analysis, which shows that everyone is being able to get a bite to eat on this listing, which is always great. So let's go and scan the 11. The 11 is selling for $93, $34 profit, 100% ROI. Let's scan the 11.5. The 11.5 is selling for 81, a little bit less with $21 profit. And we do have 2 pairs of 12. So the 12 is selling for 90, $30 profit. There's only 10 pairs a month being sold on the size 12 listing, which is obviously not that much volume, but we only have 2 pairs. And so if we look at that, let's look at how many people are selling on this listing. There is 7 sellers with 13 quantity, and it sells 10 pairs a month. So adding us, there's going to be 15 quantity, and across 3 months, which is like the window I like to calculate for shoe sales, because 6 months is when you get charged long-term storage fee. So planning for 3 months gives us 3 more months to make sure we actually sell the items. That would give us a month and a half to sell through the current stock plus our stock. And across 3 months, that would be 30 pairs sold, and there would only be 15 total after we list ours. So actually might send that off. That's actually not as bad as I thought, even though the sales rank is not that great, 337,000 BSR, which is 1%, but you gotta understand that's not the best. All right, this is the Nike 7 grade school size. Let me go ahead and show you guys what this looks like real quick. This is a super clean shoe. I wear 7.5, so I'm just barely outside of children's sizes. But the cool thing about grade school sizes 6 and 7 is that they fit women and they fit very small men. But a lot of you women out there, you know what I'm talking about. You know that you can fit a boy's size 6 or 7 and that they're cheaper. So you get a little deal. So if you're gonna buy grade school sizes, 6 and 7 sells way better than the smaller sizes because they have a larger market. All right, let's get to analyzing these. Size 7, cost of 21. We got a killer deal on these. Selling for 62, that's a $21 profit. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs. So that's $100 profit right there. Let's scan the 6. The 6 is looking like a $26 profit, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is another $130 profit. So that's $230 profit in this stack right there. And now let's move on to this Downshifter 12. Let me show you what it looks like real quick, all right? Very breathable, simple little athletic shoe here. All right, now let's scan these in. So size 12, this is a tricky situation. You wanna make sure you're scanning the right one. Even though this image is correct, the title is not. This says Air Max Sequent 2, and this is actually a Downshifter 12. So make sure you choose the right listing. There could be some fishy stuff going on there. So it's selling 15 pairs a month, not a ton, but we also don't have a ton of pairs. So selling 15 pairs a month, with a cost of 21 at a sales price of 75, this is actually gonna produce $31 profit, which is 150% ROI. Again, make sure you choose the right one. It looks like the 10.5 is gonna bring in $23. The 11 is gonna bring in $24. And the 11.5, which we have 2 pairs of, is only gonna bring in $14. So overall, this is close to about $20 a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is gonna be $140. This was what? This was $230. Overall, like all of these shoes are bringing us in at least about $20 profit per pair. And even more, these ones are bringing in $48 profit per pair. So $20 per pair is a conservative estimate. Let me run these again real quick. That one's actually only bringing in $10 profit. 21, 21. But overall, I think 20 is a conservative estimate. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 45, 46. So that is gonna be $920 profit for this stack. And I probably spent, let's say, 3 hours shopping for these, and then no more than another 3 hours to prep them and send them off to Amazon. So we're looking at about 6 hours of work to produce almost $1,000 in profit. And our cost to purchase these all was, I think we're gonna say it was about $20 to $25 a pair, which is pretty amazing. I'm sorry, the studio's super messy, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys to show you my thought process and how you can use SellerAmp to make these decisions and help you make more money, and also help you not buy things that aren't gonna actually sell, right? So this section of the video is gonna be cool because I know already, I'll just tell you, I'm not able to sell at least half, if not all of these products I'm gonna scan. And so we're gonna be able to go over that and show you how to see if you can sell it. And then also I'll talk a little bit about what to do if you can't sell it on Amazon, right? But usually you probably wouldn't buy it if you didn't have a backup plan. Sometimes I purchase stuff just because the price is so good, right? And the stock is limited. So first off, let's scan this Adidas bag. This was purchased at Marshall's for $21.99. So we're gonna shake the scan. We're gonna scan the Adidas barcode, and we're gonna wait for it to come up. So I don't know why I said $21.99. The tag says $21.99, but when I previously scanned this, I put in $14.19. So that's a cool thing, is that SellerAmp does save the information that you put in on your previous scanned items, as well as your scan history. And because it works on the desktop just exactly the same as it works on the mobile app, if you scan something in a store on your phone, when you get back to your desktop, it's on the desktop. Or if you desktop, then later you can see it on your phone, right? And it updates instantaneously. I think what happened with this item was that I bought multiples of them and that one of them had a tag that was less than the others. And so I got them to ring them all up for this 14 price. And the 19 cents is just sales tax because I actually paid sales tax. I didn't have my sales tax exemption and I didn't want to deal with downloading it, printing it out, blah, 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 blah. If I was making a larger purchase, I would have brought it with me, but I actually just popped into Marshall's and scanned some stuff. So let's just go with the $14.19 for now. So the current sales price is $28.53. And with the cost of $14.19, I can make $5.06 profit. But if you see up here in the upper left corner, it says eligibility, no, I'm not eligible to sell this item. It does sell 500 times a month, which is great. So I know it's a popular item, but since I can't sell it right there, it says eligible, no. Let me scroll down and show you. So in the alerts section here, where it says eligibility, if you're not logged into your Amazon account, you need to press that and then log into your Amazon seller account through the SellerAmp app. And then it will display how it's displaying for me right now, which says I'm restricted. And so what happens if you scan an item and you're restricted, what you want to do is press manual ungate, and it will instantly take you to the seller application page inside of Amazon. And this is the easiest way to do it when you're out and about, because doing it through the mobile browser or the Amazon seller app is just not good, and it's actually broken most of the time. So this will actually allow you to approve. I can tell you right now from experience that most of these brands that have a $sign in front of them, at least currently, are nearly impossible to get approved for. So you can just request approval and then you can see what they want. So let's see what it says. It says, I need a document that shows one purchase invoice from a manufacturer or distributor, name, address, blah, 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 100 units. All right, and then some other stuff. So if you have the invoice, you can submit it there. There is some gray hat ways you can get around this, and there is some verified suppliers that I have talked about in other videos, and do share the suppliers as well as the gray hat tactics in my mentorship group, or if you wanted to do a consultation, but it's not actually something I can talk publicly about on YouTube. I'll just tell you right now that if it has a $sign on the brand, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to get approved. So don't worry about it. You can sell it on another platform. You could sell it on eBay. You might be able to sell it on Walmart. You could sell it on Whatnot. You could sell it on Poshmark. There is people building businesses using these same sourcing methods that we're using for Amazon, but selling on other platforms. So it's important to have a bunch of different platforms that you can sell on. You know, you don't want to keep all your eggs in one basket. It's never a good idea. So let's move on to the next item. The next item is this clean canteen, and this is purchase price of $14.99. Let's scan this. We're waiting for it to load to see if I can sell it, and I am eligible to sell clean canteen brand products. My cost price right here says $17. Let me put that back down to $15. And for whatever reason, the sales price is coming up as negative 1 penny right now, which is just crazy. So let's scroll down and see, and it does look like there's no offers currently, but in the last 90 days, there was an offer for $44.95 from Pattern Professional. You can see that through the buy box analysis. Let's go to the 30-day chart. The 30-day chart is not showing any. The 180-day chart is showing people selling it about $45, $43, $44.88. So let's go up and look. It's only selling 2 per month, but be aware that the sales volume is obviously affected by lack of supply, because if people can't buy it, you know, it's not selling, and then it looks like it doesn't sell very well. So sometimes some data points, specifically sales velocity, are very much not exactly true, because this could be a very good selling product if it was in stock, right? But it's not in stock, so it can't sell, so obviously the metrics look bad. Another time this happens is when products are priced way too high. So you will look at it and it will have a lot of reviews usually, but not a lot of sales currently. And that's because the price is so high that people don't want to buy it. And if you brought the price down to an area where the customer was more comfortable purchasing it, then it would actually sell and it would look good, right? So keep in mind that happens sometimes, and you can look historically back in time and see, you know, what price was it selling at better, right? So you could scroll down and you could look at the Keepa chart, right here, which we're looking at the 3-month chart, but let's go to the year chart and see what I'm saying. At the year chart, it was selling really well. When it was in stock for $44, which you can see right here on the chart,
it was selling very well. Now that it's out of stock and there's no purchasable price, it's not selling very well. So I'm gonna change the sale price here to 45, and we're gonna look at it that way. So selling it for 45 and buying it for 15, the profit is 15 basically, which is almost 100% ROI. So that's a good example of how to pay attention to the data instead of just being a dummy and just looking at it and going, nope, not good. Use your brain, okay? Very, very important. So let's scan the black one. The black one is bigger, and let's see if it costs more. It costs $16.99, which is probably why I had the wrong cost in the other one originally. They look very similar. So this one's coming up. Is that my price I paid with sales tax? Let's see, 17 times 1.0925. We have 9.25% sales tax here. 1857, 100% correct. So we're gonna leave that there, 1857. Again, this is showing a negative sale price because it's not in stock, which is my guess. Let's go back and look at the price that it was being sold for before. It looks like in the last 90 days, it was in stock half the time and it was being sold for $50 and they were getting the buy box. Let's go back even further and see if we can see. Okay, so also $50. And now let's go look at the sales rank chart and see what that shows. The sales rank chart is showing currently very sparse spikes or drops, right? Because it's not in stock. But in the past 3 months, we can see that at $60, 50 or $60, it was selling really well. And if you look at the whole year, the chart is bananas. It's actually selling really, really well. So let's put this for a sale price of 50 and let's see what we're working with. So selling this item for 50, it will produce $19 in profit, which is just a little bit over 100% ROI. Now it does sell for 60 sometimes. If we sell it for 60, we're gonna make $28 a unit, and that's 150% ROI. So I'm definitely sending these off. I have a few of these. I have 2 of the silver stainless steel ones. Now these are really nice. I might get high on my own supply and keep one of these. These are great for camping. It says that 38 hours hot, 100 hours cold, and this is 1 liter. So this is like the modern version of the old Coleman thermos. This is really great. The lid is a cup, all that jazz. What do we have? We have 4 of the black ones. So that's great. That's a solid profit on an item where we can sell. All right, this next product is a Disney Durables. So I believe I purchased these for $15 a piece on clearance, but let's go ahead and scan these and see what happens. So scan the barcode, nothing comes up. Okay, so what do we do next? Let's do a title search and see if we can find this. Disney Durables Ultimate Mega Peak. Now, I'm not an expert on these Disney Durables. I know they're pretty popular. Now let's go through here and see if we can see the Target exclusive. We're gonna click load more because I don't see it. We're gonna click load more because I still don't see it. I am not seeing it. We're gonna go to the Amazon Buyer app and we're gonna use the camera on the Buyer app to scan the package and see if it will come up. So we did get a Mega Peak pack to show up, but not the one that we are looking for. So first of all, I can't sell. Let me just open one of these so I can show you. I definitely can't sell this product. I'm ineligible to sell this product. So I used to be able to sell Disney, but I lost it in the great gating of 2023. It's not coming up on Amazon. I can't sell it. I think I'm gonna sell this one on eBay. Really quickly, I'll just go through eBay and show you guys how I would look this up on eBay. So we're gonna say Durables Ultimate Mega Peak, and we're gonna start with that just to see what comes up, because I might put Stitch in here, but I'm not sure because Stitch is the main special edition character there. The first 2 that came up in the results is the one that I have right here. So Disney Durables Ultimate Mega Peak 30 figures Pixel. Let's see what the title on the other one is. Pixel Perfect Edition Target Exclusive. Okay, cool. So that is the one that we're looking for. Let's put the word Pixel. Both of the listings that we saw had the word Pixel in them right away. Okay, so now all the results are for the one that we're looking for. Now let's go to Filter and let's go to show sold completed. So we're gonna change that sold completed and we're gonna look. And currently we are sorting this by, it's on ended recently. So one sold for 28 plus 15, one sold for 30 plus 15, one sold for 40 with free shipping, 30 plus 15, 30 plus 15. So it's looking like it's about 40 to 45 flat, like including shipping for this item. Let's go and sort and see if there's any recent higher prices. So sorting by highest price is not always the safest thing to do because it might have been selling for much more at an earlier time and that price is not relevant right now. but I like to do it just to see what it possibly could sell for, and then also check the dates to see how recent it is. That will also allow you to see if there's something in the title that you missed, if there's a certain way you should be listing it maybe to get attention from buyers that are willing to pay a little bit more. Let's just go through that, and it looks like as early as May it was selling for maybe $10 more, about $50. So it's looking like we're gonna sell this for $35 to $40 on eBay, or I might put it on Whatnot. This could be a good item to put on Whatnot. I do have 5 of them. Let's go on to the next item, and the next item is also gonna be a fun one. So this is a 3 Doodler Start Plus. This is like a 3D pen. That's like a 3D printer you hold in your hand and you can make art out of it, right? It's a toy for kids. And this was a purchase from Kohl's, and you can see I got this for half off of $32.49. So this was $16 and some change. Let's go ahead and scan this. We're gonna make sure to scan the item barcode and not the Kohl's barcode, and nothing's coming up. So for this one, we're gonna have to search. We're just gonna put 3 Doodler. And in here, there is one listing that came up that looks like it, but I can tell you right now, that's not the right listing. It looks exactly like it, but this one is the exclusive bundle, which comes with 147 refill strands. There's 50% extra refill strands. So this is actually better than this listing, and I'm not eligible to sell this brand on Amazon either. If I was eligible to sell it, I would make a choice. Do I sell it on this listing, or do I create a new listing on Amazon, which takes a little bit of time, but might be worth it if you have as many of these as I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of them, right? So we do have a decent quantity that would be worthwhile to create a listing, but I can't sell this anyways, and so it's not worth me creating a listing for this item. So I will most likely sell these on eBay, but let's just go through it. Assuming I could sell it on Amazon for $16 at the current price of $45, that would be a $16 profit, or basically 100% ROI, which is well worth it. The reason I purchased these was just because these are really cool. They were deeply discounted. They're originally 65 bucks. And getting them for 16 is basically about as cheap as you'll ever get it. You wouldn't even be able to get them that cheap at wholesale. So these I purchased with the intent to sell on eBay or Whatnot. Now let's go and look real quick on eBay, since we have eBay active right there. 3 Doodler, and we're gonna make sure we put new. We're gonna go to filter. We're gonna go to sold completed. It's very important because the price that something's listed for on eBay doesn't matter. What it's sold for is what matters. And so you could see the black one showing up as the Pro. We don't want that. We're gonna put minus Pro. Okay, so that helps us out, but we're still sorting it by highest, not by recent. I didn't mean to go to lowest. Let's go to recent. And so it looks like recently selling for about 34 plus 8 shipping, or 40 with shipping. Another one 50 with free delivery on the end of June. That's the actual same one we have. So I can tell you this is gonna be probably around 10 bucks to ship. So selling it for 40 to 50, that leaves us with $30 to $40 before eBay fees, and paying 16 for this, it's probably gonna be about $15 to $20 profit, or 100% ROI. Now comes the fun part, packing them all up and listing them on Amazon to create an FBA shipment where we send them off to FBA so that FBA can store them, ship them to our customers when they sell, and ultimately pay us. And I promise you, FBA is the way to go for most products, because you not only sell items faster, but they also handle customer service for you. Now, that doesn't mean that it can't be a raisin cookie at times. There is ups and downs. There's all kinds of BS you have to deal with when you're trying to make money on Amazon, but that's actually good because everybody has to deal with the same BS, and the people that are willing to deal with it and learn how to navigate it are the ones that are gonna be able to make the most money. I'm gonna do that in another video, so I'll see you guys on that video. If you like this video, please comment down below, press the like button, all that stuff. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.